A very good afternoon to you all. You are highly welcome to our today's workshop, where we'll be having it's actually an interactive section while knowledge will be shared across border. So we welcome all of us here. I am so surprised with the number we are having here. We are still expecting others. Before now, I was thinking maybe we let 5 minutes out for some others to join us. But looking at the number we have now, I think it is only wise for us to continue. My name is Nnakwe Augustine. I am the program coordinator, and I have my team present with me here on this platform and even in the office. So my job is very simple, very simple. And while I'm doing it, I still have all of you co-piloting this very program with me. You're welcome to the Integrated Institute of Professional Management for those who today is their first time of joining us. I want to assure you something. This is not a political platform where sometimes, not the politics of Nigeria, I mean, but some countries, not your country, political maneuvering where people will make promises and don't fulfill. At Integrated Institute of Professional Management, we make promises that we are sure we keep to. So I am about to make the promise if you are ready to listen to that. Um, One promise we are making is that this session will be interactive. That is first. Another promise is for all attendees who will be docile to today's presentation, today's lecture, today's learning, you will never leave the same, the way you came in for this program. That is a very strong promise, but it has a condition attached for those who will be docile, who will open up to welcoming what we have in stock for you. We are about unpacking. The discussion of today is dealing with contemporary issues in management consulting. Dealing with contemporary issues in management consulting. I want us, for those who have their pens by the side and their jotter, you can just scribe, uh, put it down in your jotter so that this very topic will guide us through the whole of the session. So we appreciate, we still have some persons joining us. You're welcome, you're welcome. Welcome to Integrated Institute of Professional Management. Please, here we build our capacities. Here we carry out trainings. Aside the certificates we issue, those are secondary, but to some persons, they say the major thing is, other than being the certificate, we issue certificates. And the certificate is the knowledge aspect of the whole program that we emphasize. So we emphasize learning, we emphasize sharing of knowledge, transmission of knowledge, and today's program is really packed. And while we are almost ready to unpack, this is just an introductory session. We, we implore all of us to be open to what is going to happen today. Bear in mind, for those who are just joining us, I have already mentioned, I am still repeating that the theme or the title of this today's conversation, today's meeting, today's learning, today's workshop is dealing with contemporary issues in management consulting. We did not just say contemporary issues. We said we want to deal with those issues. We want to really disintegrate them, break them into pieces, then address them one after the other. But one promise we are not making, mind you, it is not is that we are not dealing with all contemporary issues. But what we have for you today is going to be a compass to addressing other issues that you will encounter as either management consultants, as either managers of your organizations, or even as employees. So I welcome all of you. So you see that today is not just about the consultants. This is not just your day, but this is also your day. Today's learning is not just about the managers. Yes, this is about managers too, but this is not just about your day, but you are welcome as managers. And today also is not just about employees. Some persons will say, what will employees be doing here? But you are really welcome. The employees of today will be the business owners of tomorrow. We are building and bracing you up to the challenges of the future, and the intricacies, understanding the intricacies of business and business consulting. So you're really welcome to this session. I'll be introducing our moderator for today, whose job is almost like mine, but more tedious because he will have to open up for all of you to introduce yourself. I have with me here today a colleague and a co-pilot also, like all of us, and not just me, a colleague and a co-pilot. His name is Benedict Austin. He's here to continue from where I have stopped and to continue. He's here to continue from where I stopped and other participants. So I will advise before he continues, please, if you have your systems unmuted, please help us, do us the easy task of muting yourself. You will have the opportunity to unmute because we want to hear your wonderful voices.
Can you hear me? The moment that he said he started like this, it's a PDP, it's an agent of poverty. Terror.
We advise you to mute yourself. So over to the moderator.
Yeah.
I think too many people who are unauthorized have their devices unmuted. Advise them to mute their devices, please.
Good afternoon once again. My name is Benedict Austin. I'm the Business Development Associate. You're welcome to the workshop. We thank you all for registering for this program. Okay, please, for those who might unmuted, please, it's better that way so that we can hear ourselves. Thank you very much. So hello, please. Let us orderly introduce ourselves. You can mute your mic and please raise your hand. Let the first person. Let's start. Orderly, raise your hand. Please go on, Mr. Babatunde.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Yeah, Mr. Babatunde, you have the floor.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, I'm glad to be here. I unmute myself because you mentioned that I should unmute myself. I should unmute myself. That's why. I have a question, and the question is: for how long will this take? Is it 1 hour? Is it 2 hours? Is it 3 hours? So that we can plan ahead. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me, Mr. Babatunde?
Did you get the question?
Yes, I did.
The question is, for how long will this take? Is it 1 hour? Is it 2 hours? Is it 3 hours? So that we can plan ahead. What I can see in the invite is it's starting by 2 p.m. However, it does not state when it is ending. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Babatunde.
You're welcome.
The workshop is for 2 hours.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So can you just go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, my name is Babatunde Ibrahim. I'm currently working as an HR personnel of NGPET Manufacturing Limited, a company that works under the Jotna. Jotna is a Lacasera group of company. So that's a Lacasera group of company brand. So I work as an HR personnel there, and I have once worked as a payroll personnel. I work in terms of attendance management. So, and I also have a business relationship on a part-time basis with a management consultant who consult for Nestle Nigeria PLC. We also consult for First Bank Nigeria. We also consult for Unilever in terms of recruitment, payroll, and others as far as human resources is concerned. So that's the summary of myself, Babatunde Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, Mr. Babatunde. It's nice to have you here.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Please, can we follow the order of raising up your hand? Let's know who you are so that the floor will be clear for you to introduce yourself. Thank you. Okay, I can see a hand raised without a name. Please, you can kindly introduce yourself and let us know what you do.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, my name is Akani Etuk.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. I work with Akiju Engineering Limited, Abuja. We consult and we also construct. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Next.
My name is John Samuel Okoyemi.
You're welcome, Mr. Simon.
Samuel Okoyemi.
Samuel, sorry about that.
Samuel Okoyemi. I'm a legal practitioner and also CEO, Input Touch Management Services. We consult in management services. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next person, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Badmos Babatunde Ariwola.
You're welcome.
I'm an operator at FAE Limited here at Ogba. Hello, can you hear me?
Thank you very much. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much. Please, next person.
Hello.
How do I get hand here for
Next person.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
We can hear you. Good afternoon.
My name is Shedrack Isaiah. Good afternoon. My name is Shedrack.
You're welcome, sir.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. I can hear you. Please go on.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, my name is Isaiah. I'm a pastor of Living Faith Church, and I'm also a HRM coach.
Okay, please, can the rest of us go to the chat room to introduce ourselves for want of time, please?
Good
Is that
afternoon.
possible?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ebuchi Banito. We are just having some kind of noise from different backgrounds, so we have to mute everyone right now. Please kindly bear with us. Please, let's use the chat room.
Good afternoon, sir.
Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is
and then we'll proceed. So we have to mute everyone right now, please. We have to mute everyone right now, and please use the chat room. We anticipate quite a number of people joining us here, so we have created the WhatsApp. We've created a YouTube link. So in case you're unable to join us here, please kindly use the YouTube link. You can visit our YouTube and then use that to join us for this program. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. And once again, you are welcome. Okay, so for the want of time, someone had already asked what's the duration of this program? The duration of this program is just for a maximum of 2 hours. And as the coordinator has rightly pointed out, we're going to have quite a number of things to discuss. It's a luncheon as well as a professional discussion. So as it were, it's not just, it's not a workshop of push, rather is an interactive forum where we all come to discuss about management consulting. If you're not a consultant here, that means you have intention of becoming a consultant. And this particular program is not about general consulting, like the coordinator is just management. Now, priority is just to deal with attending to management consulting. We understand that every other consulting is management consulting. So if you are a technical consultant, you are an engineering consultant, you're a medical consultant, all of these things still borders around with what we do. So you're all welcome. In a short while, we're going to pass some announcement around, and then we'll proceed with this section. However, we have quite a number of people here. For the link for our YouTube, because we'll soon get more than 100. So please, we have the YouTube link currently shared. In case by any chance you logged out or your network threw out or you're unable to come in, please kindly join us via YouTube. So the YouTube link is posted there. We are not asking you to go to YouTube right now, but what we're saying is in case by whatsoever means you get logged out, please join us via YouTube. But we recommend that your network should be stable and you'll be able to have the best of this interactive moment. Once again, you're welcome. Give us just a minute and we'll be back. So get ready, get yourself fixed, and we'll be back in just a minute with the announcement. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. We thank the Executive Director, Dr. Ebruche Banito. My task here is simple once more, just to pass a few announcements before we commence the lecture proper. So we welcome you once more to the Integrated Institute of Professional Management. Do not ignore the chat room where we have said that you should continue the introduction there. We have our reason for telling all of us or asking us to introduce ourselves there. First for networking and also so that we'll get to meet ourselves better. So we welcome you to this noble institute. For our introduction, I want you to pay attention and listen attentively about who this institute really is, so that you will not feel that you've gone somewhere that does not have an address or a name. I'm repeating again, the Integrated Institute of Professional Management is where you are. You are fortunate to be. This is a world-class professional training and certification institute with an international reputation, legally registered in Nigeria. Displayed on your screen is the institute's registration number, the company's registration number. And it's registered under the KAMA Act of 1990 of the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now our objective, we have the sole objective of improving the degrading quality of human capital in Africa for the purpose of increased personal and organizational effectiveness, efficiency, optimized productivity, and increased profitability. The Integrated Institute of Professional Management is approved by the Federal Ministry of Education, Nigeria, and accredited by the National Council for Management Development, Nigeria. Also, the Chartered Institute of Management Consultants, USA, and the Society for Human Resource Management, USA. The Integrated Institute of Professional Management is strategically positioned to improve value-driven trainings with globally recognized certifications and membership license. IIPM, as we also are known as, strategically networks with individuals and organizations all across the globe to ensure that our clients have the best of offerings at the most cost-effective rate. You get to know why. Cost-effective rates, I reiterate. Our focus is building skills, talents, character, and capacity of individuals and organizations through value-embedded training and certifications in management, effective leadership development, practical entrepreneurship, and strategic business management. Our services are, but not limited to, training and certification, executive coaching and consulting, membership, HR outsourcing, customer service, safety and project management training and consulting, educational programs. We offer under this mini MBAs and professional MBA programs, and also information technology. Now, coming back to today, what we have for you today, dealing with contemporary issues in management consulting. This program is designed to provide information on current trends in management consulting. These trends vary, but not limited to client sourcing and maintenance, dealing with an unstable economy and or competitive marketplace, innovation, strategy and planning, and so on. This program is not solely targeted at business consultants, but managers, business owners, and any business-oriented individual who is passionate on improving his or her capacity in the business firm. This program is 100% free, good to know, for all attendees, all of us here. It is 100% free. Active and conscious participation is highly recommended for all participants. Please, I am supposed to go through this very fast, but I repeat, and please, this we recommend. Active and conscious participation is highly recommended for all participants. There are 2 certificates available: certificate of attendance and certificate of achievement. You get to understand these 2 in the course of the training. Now, participants will receive their soft copy certifications and training manuals immediately after classes for interested persons only. This program will cover, or this discussion will cover: 1, overview of management consulting, contemporary management consulting skills, contemporary issues in management consulting, and practical approaches to dealing with these contemporary issues. Other issues, other topics may come during the course of the presentation. More information will be shared as we proceed. So once again, from my table, I say you are highly welcome to this institute. I transfer you immediately to the executive director, who is coincidentally the anchor of this program, or the resource person for this very program. He is no other person than Dr. Banito Eburuche. So you're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, our coordinator, for this introduction. My name is Eburuche Banito, and I will be coordinating this section of this interaction. So we have principally 2 things we're doing here. One is a luncheon, and the other one is a professional discussion. A luncheon is simply a gathering of professionals to discuss issues, and most often luncheons are done during your break period. So we are trying to use our break periods within the work environment to see what we can achieve today. I want to appreciate all our faculty members present, all council members present, the registrar, the chairman of the governing board, the different board presidents and chairmen present, alumni board, college of fellows, everyone present. We want to recognize you all. And also all our members. I can see Mr. Damilari, I can see Mr. Ademola Orelaja, my EBU director. I can see Abubakar Habiru, Adeyemi Caleb, Ridwan, Honorable Kingsley, Honorable Jason, Engineer and not Engineer Alvin Bass. Okay. And several other names. We have 80 people in this class. I have Deborah Ogunke. They have Professor Taiwo, Dr. Razak, Dr. Igbagbara, Alex. My very good person that always questions me too much in my class, Ehizoje. Have an AG Sunday, Fatoye Kudus. And all the way from Cameroon, we have Fombang, Engineer Fombang, and several other people were represented, Ifi, and every other person. You know, I've been talking, not even knowing whether you actually can hear me or not. And so if you're coming to us for the first time, I can also see Pastor Shedrack Azaya, Honorable Pastor Shedrack Azaya. So you're welcome. So if you can hear me, please kindly type 11. So let me be sure that I'm not just talking to myself. If you can hear me, please kindly type 11. I also see Truslin, our EBU PRO. I can also see Taiwo Ayodele. Sorry, yes, Tunde Rada, Mr. Tunde Ayodele. So please, we are all welcome. For this discussion, we already have this discussion being streamed on YouTube. So but we'll just record it for recording purposes so that everyone will be, oh, sorry, I would like to recognize someone very, very important. Not very important, everyone is important, but this is one of my lecturers all the way from United States of Nsukka. Please, I stand corrected, but I think by now she's a Professor Mbeyi Ifoma. Those days we're in school, we used to call her Auntie Fee, but now she's now a prof. So Professor Mrs. Ifoma Mbeyi, you are welcome, ma. Thank you so much for joining us here. Okay, so we have just a few discussions to do, and our discussion is principally on management consulting. Okay, management consulting, dealing with contemporary issues in management consulting, dealing with contemporary issues in management consulting. It's going to be a very simple discussion. So for all the people that can hear me, thank you so much for hearing me. Now, if you can see my screen, please kindly type 22 in the chat room. If you can see my screen, please kindly type 22 in the chat room. If you can see my screen, please kindly type 22. All right, so if my screen is quite beautiful and you like it, please, you can type 55. If my screen is lovely, you can type 55. Now, if you can only see it, just type 22. If it is lovely and you can see it, type 22, type 55. All right, thank you so much. So my name is Ebri Banito. And here is just a little introduction about myself. I'm chartered management consultant. I have both certification in management consulting from Chartered Institute of Management Consultant USA. I'm certified and chartered USA. I'm certified and chartered with Nigeria Council for Management Development. Now, I have my certification and license as a HR professional. I'm actually chartered also as a global HR professional. So for all of this, I have my affiliation with the Chartered Institute of Personal Management, CIPM Nigeria, and Society for Human Resource Management USA. I'm also certified and chartered as a project manager, as well as a certified strategic business management strategist. Okay, so I'm practicing as a management consultant, I'm practicing as a trainer, and I'm practicing as a HR professional. So whichever one you need my help in or my attention in, you can always get to me. You know, in all of these discussions, I never mentioned my wife. I have my lovely wife in the house. So for the sake of my wife, I'm a husband of one and father of one for now. Just like my mentor, Dr. Larry Wallace, say, I'm a father of four. And then I'm a husband to one for now. Okay. So I'm a husband to one beautiful lady. My wife is somewhere in the room. So Princess, you're welcome. And my daughter also is somewhere in the room, because I know wherever my wife is, my daughter must be there. So both my wife and my daughter, they are somewhere in the room. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Oladeji, I said a husband of one for now. I didn't say I would take more wives in the future. Okay. All right. A whole lot of introductions in the chat room. We've seen those that are certified in management consulting. We've seen those who are architects, engineers, doctors, and all of that, lawyers. Welcome. Now, there's something I would like us to do, because part of this whole program is also networking. And I know as we go on, we'll see more to business collaborations. So one thing you are going to do for us, I'm not saying you should exit the class, but before you leave this class, please ensure to share your profile for easy connection, or your Facebook profile, or your most preferred profile for easy connection. Okay. While you're doing that, please also ensure to follow us our own platforms on LinkedIn, so that we can good connections. All right. Now, if you look at the discussions we're going to be looking at today, the coordinator has already mentioned them. So these are the discussions we're having today. We will review management consulting processes and model, very, very important. We will look at the contemporary consulting skills, not just looking at it, but understanding why those skills are important. And we'll review the issues in contemporary management consulting. And then we have assess practical ways of handling contemporary issues in management consulting. Now, if you're ready, can you please type 10 in the chat room? If you're ready, can you please type 10 in the chat room? Can you please type 10 in the chat room? If you're ready, please type 10 in the chat room. If you're ready, please type 10 in the chat room. If you're ready, please type 10 in the chat room. Okay, so since you're ready, let's move on. I will first of all begin this way. This is a luncheon, so it's not like I just sit down here and then tell you everything and then you go home resting. No, it's a luncheon. That means it's a group of professionals coming together to discuss on an important issue, right? And so in that case, let's begin with trying to look at what this contemporary consulting all about. What is contemporary consulting? So if you wish to share with us, please, and please, if you raise your hand, don't take more than 30 seconds in your contribution so that we don't mute you back. Okay. So please, let's have a background on what this contemporary consulting is all about. So what is contemporary consulting? What is contemporary consulting? I remember that our major focus is on management consulting, not just all-round consulting, but management consulting. So I have Oladeji. So please, Mr. Ima, can you unmute and let's hear from you, please?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
I just want to make contribution. Is the act of using the 21st century skills acquired in consulting, in consultation? Thank you, sir.
Okay, so using I love the way you put that, acquired 21st century skills in consulting. Thank you so much. So it's not just skills, but it must be an acquired skill. Thank you. Okay, so I have Honorable Jason. Please, Honorable Jason, can you go ahead, sir?
Thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Benito. Good afternoon, everyone. To me, contemporary consulting is about conducting a diagnosis, a lobotomy of a business operation and seeing where the business is ailing and providing solutions to it. Thank you. Over to the next.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Jackson. I told you we have professors in this house. I'm trying to find the meaning of that word. Say ilopotomy, something like that. Ilopotomy. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Jackson, for that. Okay, so we'll have Chi Edozie Chemeka. Please kindly omit.
Hello, everyone.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, I am looking at it has to do with the dichotomy between today consulting and the way consulting was done in those days, and how we can implement change as far as consultation is concerned. That is contemporary consulting.
Okay, so I love the way you put it. The dichotomy, what has been done before as consulting versus what is being done now. Much for that. Okay, do I have any other person who wishes to contribute to this? contemporary consulting. Okay, so I have Engineer Ademola Ridwan. All right, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
In my own view, I think is a way of rethinking, redesigning, and redesigning our thinking to suit the current trends in management in order to solve issues that are prevailing.
I love that. Rethinking, having a rethink, having a reorientation about what we knew before towards identifying problems and then preferring solutions. Engineer Ridwan. Okay, so I have Engineer Fambang all the way from Cameroon. Please, you're welcome. Please, Engineer Fambang, go ahead.
Good day, everybody.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, to my own opinion, I think that contemporary consulting is all about using acquired skills, knowledge, and experiences to do things differently as of date. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have another hand, Baba Gana. Is this Baba Gana Zulu? Okay, so please, Baba Gana, you can unmute and let's hear from you, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir. Good day, sir.
So, in my own opinion, also is the actual business in order to eliminate the business plan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. The network was breaking, so I couldn't have heard you very clearly. For that, sincere appreciation. Okay, so we have Ishmael Kuma all the way from Ghana. Please, Mr. Ishmael. Is Ghana's view to contemporary consulting?
Yeah, good day to all.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, my view on the contemporary consulting today, I will say that is understanding current trend of consulting in our business or in our countries now, because now everything is agile, everything is going high tech. So you must also address yourself with current trends as to how to get a solution to your clients. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Understand the agility and then being able also to play along with the agility. Thank you so much in order to provide solutions to your client. So I have Oguche. Please, Oguche, if you can hear me, please kindly unmute and let's hear from you. Christopher Oguche, Joseph.
Yeah, in my own view, is just trying to employ modern technology in management practice.
Okay.
Trying to employ modern technology in management practice.
Employing modern technology in management practice. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello.
So employing modern technology in management consulting. I'll only take these two hands up and then we'll proceed. So let's hear from my good friend. Please, sir, you can unmute and let's hear from you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So I would say contemporary, having to do with something that relates with the immediate or the current situation of practices or allowable practices. So it will have to do with solving and being able to have challenges solved by rethinking, redesigning, repositioning, or even relaunching practices that existed before, the structures, the systems, services, or strategies to using this to address consulting needs in the country or whatever it may be required. So looking at the contemporary, the current trends, and being able to apply these manners of rethinking or new ways of doing things, going by the way things are going.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for that. So I'm only going to take just Badmos, but we'll come back to answering questions, just interacting, because it's basically interaction. And we have to understand that these are a group of professionals who have just gathered together to share their thoughts towards management consulting. Some of us here are directors from public service, directors from private service, some of us are CEOs, some of us are practicing consultants and all of that. So it's an important place for every one of us to share thoughts. However, we have to guide the sharing so that everyone will have something to say. At the same time, everyone, we don't get to overbook our time. Now, there is something I picked from the last speaker. He said it's about, first of all, contemporary, that's talking about now, talking about immediate. And then he says about rethinking, redesigning, relaunching, and I would say reskilling to be able to meet up with present day trends, present day realities in consulting. Thank you so much, Mr. Adeyemi, for that wonderful contribution. Mr. Council members, and he has given a dish of his council attitude. So you're welcome, sir. Okay,
Thank you very much.
So now let's look at this. Now that we've established what this whole contemporary consulting is, the basic thing we want to say, if you ask me, I will tell you that contemporary consulting is consulting today. Okay, so expansions can come in, right? But contemporary consulting, a no long word, is consulting today, right? So redesigning, relaunching, reskilling, adoption of methodology, adoption of changes, modifications, and all of that is all about the presentations of consulting today. So now quickly, let's look at this. What had been in the past has been now. Before we start looking at what will be in consulting, it is also good when we look at dealing with contemporary issues or dealing with issues in contemporary consulting. We're also looking at the future of consulting. I also want us to understand that. So quickly, let's quickly look at what has consulting been like in the past. What has consulting been like? What was consulting like 10 years ago, 20 years ago? So Mr. Frank, please feel free, your hand is up, please feel free to join us. Let's have your view. What was consulting like in years back? Mr. Frank, are you still there? Okay, so any other person, please, can help us. Let's have your view. Consulting in the past, what is it like? So we have Mr. John Samuel Okoyemi, please. Mr. John Samuel Okoyemi, kindly unmute Esquire. You're welcome.
It has been a old trend in the sense that it's analog, unlike as it is digital nowadays.
So it has been analog and digital. So basically, by both digital and analog.
Pardon?
Can you please expatiate on what you mean by both digital and analog?
Okay, it's digital now because there's advancement in technology. So we can do most of our work in line with technical know-how. Unlike before now that most things you have to do it on paper.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
so we are gradually moving from paper to non-paper based consulting, right? So instead of carrying bags full of proposals and all of that, you begin to, we are now realizing that we can do everything digitally. All right, let's hear from Engineer Fomban. Engineer Fomban, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that one major difference between consulting in the past and in the present, to me, I think that consulting in the past was based on who is available And consulting today is based on who can deliver, actually. Thank you.
Okay. So before it was based on who was available, and now it's based on who can deliver. All right, thank you so much. So let's hear from Mr. Adeyemi once again. Please, you can unmute and listen.
Thank you. Consulting also in the past required, engineer just said, it also requires someone to be on ground. The person has to be, most of the consulting has to be done by in person or physically. But like we have it now, consulting can be done from wherever we are, as long as you are able to deliver, like you said. So it doesn't have to be, yes, you don't have to be physically around in the area or where you're supposed to do the consulting. Unlike now, where you can be in any country and still consult for any organization. That's the difference today.
All right, thank you so much, sir. All right, let's hear from Dr. Alex. Please, Dr. Alex, feel free to unmute and let's hear from you.
Good evening, everybody. Nice being here. Consulting in the past was like the consultant comes into an organization with his toolkit to dissect and find the problems that exist or challenges in an organization. But this day, the consultant comes in with his skills and knowledge to help the organization find solutions to their problems. And this can be done from anywhere in the world. Thank you.
So before it was much more of loads and bags, but now it's just simple men coming in to do complex works in simple ways. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so let's have, okay, so I will take Ademolu, I will take Omolara, and I will take Trusley, Minister of Education. So let's have Engineer Ridwan once again.
Yeah, thank you. So for my own view, aside the aspect of technology, the fact that before you just have the consultant coming to the site, or be it, let's take my own engineering field, for example, just come to the site, no, you don't do it this way, this is the way to do it, and he leaves. Nowadays, the consultant comes, tell you why you should do it this way. He will like to have a fair argument with you. He wants to hear your own view. Then after giving the judgment, they do review from time to time to checkmate those judgments he has made, if it's faulty or if it can be improved, in order to save cost and improve the methodologies.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for that. Okay, so I will take Olomoda, please. Mrs. Olomoda, you're welcome. Please kindly unmute and let's hear from you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
For me, I think the change in contemporary times is actually about the consultants, him or herself, because we now have to acquire a whole lot of set skills, especially in technology and research. So it boils down to the consultant and his team. The change that I see in contemporary times is that we have to go relearn and dislearn and then produce. So most of the changes that we do from far back behind to contemporary times is about us changing our learning and our production towards our consultancies. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ma, for that. Thank you. Okay, so I have Trusley. I want to take Trusley, Minister of Education. Please, Trusley, our able CEO, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, all.
You're welcome, Ma.
Okay, consultants in the past has been rigorous, rigid, and cumbersome. But today we see that it is more accommodating, flexible, and seamless. I want to use just one example, the INEC continuous voters registration. You find out that in the past, When a consultant comes, they tell you, and they do it this way. Let the people come to your office or let the people go and line up queue. It was cumbersome. But today you could see that you can do your registration online, even though there are still some issues with it, but the improvement level has really, really changed. So INEC has been able to accommodate consultants who now gave them solutions, digital solutions to the problem we are having, and they listen to it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Trustlyn, for that. That's why you're Minister of Education. Okay, so let's have, finally, Mr. Chiedozie Chemeka. Please, feel free to unmute and let's hear from you,
Yes,
sir.
I think.
Please, can you unmute? Let's hear from you, sir.
Yes, consultation now is much better because it gives room for technical know-how, manpower, and of course, it helps to improve work efficiency. You know, it helps to also promote sustainability and flexibility. Unlike in those days where it's just one man doing everything, the man is the teacher, the man is the principal. I'm taking a look at the school, for example, where in most schools in those days, a teacher can teach like 3 or 4 or 5 subjects. But now with consultation, things are changing. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, sir. In all of what we said, I would just like to summarize in few words with more of what we've said. Now, some of the things we've said is that in today's consulting, contemporary consulting is moving from paying attention to what were earlier regarded as certificates, maybe high-level certificates like your doctorate, your PhD, your master's. And they are now much more paying attention to certifications. And what's the difference? The certificate most often gives us the knowledge. For certifications, before you get certification, it gives you access to building your skills. It's much more performance-driven, impact-driven, productivity-driven, result-oriented, right? Now, in time past, I don't know how many of us have been consultant those days that my father used to be a consultant. You see him and his friends, they would gather to the office. So it was basically about age. Even till now, some places you go, they will say, this young man, what do you know? Okay, so it was basically about age. Okay, it was more of age. So you have to look at you have to look like it for you can be part of it. If you ever had that kind of experience where you were to consult for someone or some organization, they say you are too young to be a consultant. If you ever had that kind of experience, please, if you are not the one presenting, can you please mute your mic, please? Mr. Shobowale Olarewaju, can you please mute your mic? All right, thank you so much for being a very gentleman. Okay, so if you ever had that kind of experience where they say you are too young to consult, can you please type 22 in the chat room? You had that experience. Okay, you are too young to consult. Who you know? Okay, just type 22 in the chat room. So that was part of the discrimination we had there. But today, nobody talks about age. The digitization of management consulting had made it, in fact, had removed that bias that age brings, because people are all about result-driven. Okay, it's about result-driven. Okay, something happened the other day. A very good friend of mine, one of the, whether it's 5-star or 7-star hotel, but I think before you mention 1 or 2 hotels in Nigeria, it should be either number 1 or number 2. So I was contracted to help with some kind of specialist consulting in that area. And I went. Of course, I look far beyond than whoever they could have expected. Number 1, I don't look like someone who can buy what they are selling. Number 2, I look too young to be part of the people considered as consultants. But for the fact that consulting has changed, or there had been massive change in the consulting industry, especially management consulting, I was seen as one of the most proficient. But my age does not talk about it. So there had been that change. Then another one also is that in the past, if you must be a consultant, you must be physically present. Whether you like it or not, you must be present, whether it is a consulting meeting, a problem identification meeting, problem solving meeting. You just have to be present. But today, we have consulting done virtually. So we have more of virtual consulting these days. So you could stay in Nigeria and consult for anyone, anywhere in the globe. By special privilege, I've had access to consult for most people in over 21 countries. I've never seen them before, and I doubt if I will ever see them, but they paid me for consulting for them. All right. For instance, we have a quite number of people joining us in this program today from all around the world, but some of them we may never see them. We may never see them, maybe till the end of time. But we want to see them someday. But this is just part of the things that contemporary consulting is bringing. Okay, these are part of the things that contemporary consulting is bringing, right? Then another thing also is that those days, contemporary consulting, or perhaps the other kind of consulting we knew, was much more of rigidity, bulky. Just like Trusley said, it was bulky, it was rigid, it wasn't a funny experience. All right. But today, consulting is more of flexibility. The more flexible you are, the more you're going to land yourself in more consulting opportunities. Someone mentioned keyword, I think is Mr. Ishmael, speaking about agility. Okay, speaking about agility. Another one spoke about change. All right. So the more you are able to adapt to change, the better for you as a management consultant. So these are some of the things we see today in management consulting. Another thing also I would like to bring our attention to is that before now, consulting was almost 100% paper-based. It was 100% paper-based. 100% paper-based. So everything we did had to do with paper upon paper. In fact, if you don't have paper, you don't have opportunity. If your paper is not big, that means your experience is not big. Sometimes ago, I remember someone who came to me and needed me to review his consulting documents. And when I looked at the paper, I lost appetite. As in, I lost my consulting skills when I saw the whole bulk of documents. And I was like, what's this for? And by the time I started reviewing some of the documents, I found out that these things weren't really needed. But he had that mindset that if you must be a consultant, you must have the big papers. You must have the big papers and all of that. Okay. Sorry for that off screen. Okay, sorry, my screen just went off. Just give me a second. Let me get it back. So there have been a whole lot of changes in the consulting industry. A whole lot of changes. And we need to understand this. So consulting has moved from paper-based consulting to what we call cloud computing. So everything you do now is all about cloud. For instance, this meeting we're having now, everything about this program is moved to the cloud. From the paper presentation, not saved in the computer or gotten from the cloud, to the recording of this program, all in the cloud, streaming it on YouTube, all in the cloud. Before now, if you were to have this kind of program, you know the kind of money you would be spending on venue, getting a cameraman to help you and all of that, right? But today, it is not the same way again. Really, really key. Okay, really key. So what we now need first towards consulting is mind orientation. So someone said my audio quality is poor. So please, if my audio quality is poor, you cannot hear me so well, please type 0. But if you can hear me so well, kindly type 11. If you cannot hear me so well, please kindly type 00. But please, if you can hear me so well, kindly type 11. If you can hear me so well, oh, wow. So a good number of people are not hearing me so well. So what is that? How is the sound like? Some people said 1-1, some people say 0-0. So I'm trying to find out which one is the actual one. Is it 1-1? Is it 0-0? The sound is not stable. Okay, so the sound is not stable.
Good evening, sir. While you're speaking, your voice will just faint away, then come back, faint away, then come back.
Okay, so it's doing like the party delegates. My voice is doing like party delegates. Okay, so like NEPA light. Oh my God. All right. Thank you so much. So someone said I don't have issue with this sound from my end. Okay. So let's try and find the perfect way out. Okay. So these are some of the things as regards to consulting. Now, quickly, before we round up this section, because we'll soon go to the question and answer section. What kind of skills do we need today? What kind of skills do we need in the consulting of today? What kind of skills do we need in the consulting of today? If you raise your hand, I will unmute you. What kind of skills do we need in the consulting of today? What kind of skills do we need in the consulting of today? When I mean consulting of today, I'm basically talking about contemporary consulting. So what kind of skills do we need in the consulting of today? If you raise your hand, I will unmute you so that you can share. Okay, so I have Ademolu. All right, Engineer Ademolu, you're welcome.
Thank you once again, sir.
You're welcome.
As for the in the contemporary consulting, I think one of the major skills we need is design thinking. Then we need to acquire skills in IT, because in modern days now nobody does anything with analog. You have to be digitalized. So IT. Then you need design thinking. So that is.
Just hang on. I'm going to just come back to you in a moment. Don't mute yourself yet. Now, I was in a training the other day, and someone, just in a discussion as this, someone spoke about design thinking. And you know the most amazing thing? That particular phrase, design thinking, it has actually gotten him so much consulting, so much training engagement from the people that participated in that training or in that discussion since then. Okay, every now and then I see him talk about design thinking, and there's somebody I know from that meeting that called him and said, please come and tell us about this design thinking. So, Engineer Ridwan, what's the design thinking all about?
Yeah, the design thinking is.
Okay, so sorry, your network is breaking. We can't hear you so clearly right now. Please, sir, we can't hear you. Can you? Maybe you have to come back for that. But I think it's a good concept. You have to come back and share with us what design thinking is all about. Okay. All right, engineering one.
Can you hear me now?
I wasn't hearing you too clearly. Then
can you hear me now?
Engineering one, if you speak now, I think I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
the thing is still fluctuating. I could hear a little and then it off. Okay, so maybe when engineer read one, his network is stable, he will tell us more about this design thinking. All right, so let's hear from Engineer Fomban. What skills do we need today in consulting? So from the chat room, we have a good number of people sending in good things we need to read. So please permit me, before Engineer Fomban comes on board, someone mentioned negotiating skills, technical skills, interpersonal skills. That's from Juan and Nogosi. Thank you so much, Juan, for coming by. And we have soft skills like soft people skills, technical skills, including emotional intelligence. That's from Bensuni, all the way from University of Nigeria. So you're welcome, sir. Someone says digital skills, creative skills, ideation, innovation, presentation. That's from Trustlin. Interpersonal skills from IFI, presentation skills from Engineer Fombank. Okay, and several others coming in. Critical thinking, IT skills, creative and innovative skills from Eti de Frank. We have more so from Shedrack, IT and innovative skills from Lucky. Sorry, Lucky, wait, where are you? Innocent, clear communication skills, Lucky ICT skills, emotional skills, and presentation skills. From Badmore, skills like IT, emotional development. From JSA, consultants now should be able to use and interpret data. Thank you so much. So, analytical skills also. From Mahmoud Mohammed, creative and critical thinking. From Damilola, leadership skills first and others follow. Okay. Communication from Nkeruwen, it talk, communication skill, technical creativity and ICT. So there's a whole lot of blending of skills there. All right, so let me find those whose hands are up so that okay, so I have Fombank, Engineer Fombank, please now you can unmute and let's hear from you. Engineer Fombank, if you're there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think you have named a whole lot of things there, a whole lot of skills from what people have written in the chat room, which are not quite different from mine. I think one of the major things we should have as a consultancy skill as of date is for us to have a mastery of our professional knowledge. Yeah, and then we need to equally have research skills, because remember we are talking about contemporary, which means we are trying to do things differently from the past. So we equally need to have ICT skills, which is paramount. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. From Ademo, we said design thinking is a process for solving problems by prioritizing the consumer's needs above all else. It relies on observing with empathy how people interact with their environment and employs an iterative, hands-on approach to creating innovative solutions. Hence, you need to have the ability to read and understand your clients in order to solve their current challenges. All right, thank you so much, Engineer Ridwan, for that. Okay, so we actually have a whole lot of discussion here. Let's find a way to summarize all of these discussions. Okay, let's find a way to summarize our discussions. So we still have hands up. So if your hand is up and they've mentioned the things you would like to mention, please, perhaps you may want to bring your hand down, but if you, what they have said, is not part of, you just want to make some more contribution, please go ahead. All right, my very good Deacon Akan, all the way from, is it Cross River now? Please, you're welcome. You're welcome, sir. Can we hear from you? Thank you for joining us. Okay, Engineer Akan, we are not hearing you. Okay, sorry, I perceive your network will be poor from your dimension. All right, is there anyone hearing Engineer Akan, please? If you can hear Engineer Akan, please, can you type 11 in the chat room if you can hear Engineer Akan? I can't really hear him. If you can hear him, type 11. If you can't, type 00. Okay, so Engineer Akan, please go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please go ahead, sir. Okay, I only heard, can you hear me now? I can't hear you again. Okay, please, sir, can you remove your earpiece so that you can speak to your device? For us to be better. Remove your earpiece from your system so that you can speak to your device to be better.
It's better now.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay.
talking about the critical and the creative thinking, you know, we need to unlearn, learn, and relearn in terms of redefining our minds when we are talking about the creative thinking in order to meet up with the contemporary consulting. So that is just what I wanted to add to the creative and the critical thinking skills. Thank you. All right, so thank you so much for that contribution. That's lovely. So can we have Esquire John Samuel Okwemi? Please, your contribution, sir. Mr. John Samuel Okwemi, Esquire.
Okay, basically, most of the things that I have in mind has been listed, which you have read out. So I think we're on the same page.
All right, thank you so much, sir. So with all of what we've said, I think we can now summarize so that we go continue with our work. So we have reviewed management consulting. We didn't really review the processes and models. So we go and review the processes and models. Now we've highlighted the contemporary consulting skills. Everyone now knows what contemporary consulting skills is. So someone in the chat room said contemporary leadership skills. So if you ask me, I would say we need contemporary IT skills, contemporary leadership skills, contemporary emotional intelligence. So all the skills we need should be contemporary. Okay, they should be needs that meet with the current day realities. Okay, then we will now review the issues. We'll go back and review the issues and then look at the practical ways to dealing with all of this. Now we have shared in the chat room the attendance link as well as the other links. So please, for the sake of certificate processing, we will need you to take your attendance. While you're taking your attendance, the other information you find there will explain some of those other information before we go. But just to make sure that your name is captured the way it should be on your certificate, please go ahead and put your name that way. Now let's quickly look at this introduction once again. Please, if you can see my screen very well, kindly type 11. If you can see my screen, please kindly type 11. If you can see my screen very well, please kindly type 11. I am currently on introduction. So if you can see introduction, type 11. All right, thank you so much. Professor Taiwo, I've not heard from Professor Taiwo today. Prof, hope we've not annoyed you. Okay, so in times past, we anticipated this massive disruption that was coming to the business environment. We began to talk about the future of work to get people and organizations ready. Sometimes in 2019, we started talking about future of work even before the advent of the COVID, because there were a whole lot of things coming, proving that there was going to be massive disruption. IT was playing a major role. Okay, and today we have this future of work here. With it, the COVID-19 came and gave us a very good opportunity to forcefully introduce the new dimension to work. All right, there was a very, it was a long time overdue change that needed to take place in the workplace. So COVID-19 just gave us the opportunity. Now I'm going to just ask a very simple question. Now, if you ever used Zoom before COVID-19, type Z in the chat room. If you started using Zoom after COVID-19 or during and after COVID-19, type ZM. If you ever used Zoom before COVID-19, type Z, or perhaps if you never used Zoom before COVID-19, just type 00. If you used Zoom before COVID-19, maybe from 2019, you were using Zoom, just type Z. If you were never using that, just type 00 in the chat room. Okay, so ZM means that you started using it after the COVID, right? Okay, now what is this trying to say? Today, it is just becoming every organization's tool for virtual communication. It has become a basic tool for remote working, right? It has become part of the things we need for remote working. And there are other ones coming in forcefully. Now, there is something one of us said. He said, contemporary consulting is all about rethinking. So there had been some levels of changes that have come that desire us rethinking our business models towards consulting, rethinking our approaches towards consulting, rethinking our strategies, rethinking our designs, or perhaps coming up with now redesigning our approaches to consulting. All right, very, very important. Among the industries that have been heavily affected is the consulting industry. That's why today we don't just discuss consulting, but we talk about contemporary consulting. And contemporary consulting is also seen as the future of consulting. So it's not just about now, it's every now and now about now. Okay, contemporary consulting is every now and now about now. So if we get to tomorrow, it's consulting today. We'll get to next tomorrow, it's consulting today. So it brings us to the future. It helps us to begin to prospect our prospect changes that are possibly going to come in a different endeavors and fields. Now, the future of consulting, or perhaps that future of consulting is here already, and every consultant must be ready to deal with it. Management consulting is the practice of helping organizations to improve their performance. That's just basic. Now, management consultants work with both domestic or global clients. With the help of IT today, you could work from the comfort of your office, your room, or from wherever you choose to work with people from anywhere around the globe. And this whole work is about identifying and solving complex business problems. Organizational problems, and define and improve processes. So if you look at management consulting principally, it's about improving performance in organizations. But most often, it has to do with, first of all, dealing with identifying people issues, and then identifying system issues, and then identify policy issues, process issues, and then improvement issues. We talk about quality issues, all of these issues over time. So if you're a management consultant, some of us say, I'm a project manager, I'm a HR consultant, a business manager, and all of that. If you look at all of this, basically, by the time you fold all of us in one field, we are all considered as management consultants. Now, management consultants have opportunities to work with senior teams and top executives within organizations, and this helps with cultivating powerful relationships and building a supportive network. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. This is one of the primary benefits of management consulting. You get to meet with people that matters. You get to meet with people that matters. Come June 30th, 2022, we'll be having executive leadership development workshop for 100 directors. That's 100 directors, excluding private players, that will be joining us in that workshop. So just imagine the kind of profile all the facilitators will be having after that. So a facilitator after that could say, okay, I had a training where we had 100 directors from maybe Ministry of Finance, Ministry of that, social agency and social agency. Now you have link within places. You could say, okay, I need to have information about the budget of social agency. You know who to call. So management consulting makes you, let me use the word, a big boy, it makes you a big girl. It makes you be that person that every other person wants to associate with, because you have information, critical information, you have value-driven information. Did you get what I just said now? You know, some of us, when we talk about consulting, it's more of profit and loss account. But I tell you the honest truth, if you're really a consultant, your priority is relationship building. Your priority is relationship building, not doing your profit and loss account. A consultant's sustainability ratio is based on the number of quality relationships he has built over time. And this borders down to how good you are with leadership. Are you an effective leader? Every effective leader is interested in relationship building. Okay, every effective leader is interested in relationship building. So are you an effective leader? That's very, very important. Okay. Now I want to give all of us a task. Before this year runs out, be decisive enough that you're going to build at least 10 quality networks or 10 quality people in your network. 10 quality people in your network. There is a saying that it is your network that determines your net worth. Okay, it is your network that determines your net worth. So don't just be a consultant by paper. Don't just be a consultant on LinkedIn. You put it on your profile. And the people that are supposed to push you forward, you're not meeting them. Decisively, I've said something today. Before you leave here today, make sure you drop your WhatsApp link, not your WhatsApp link, your LinkedIn profile link. Let people get to see you, let people get to meet with you, let people get to connect with you. And please, when you link with someone, just tell the person we met at the Contemporary Management Consulting Workshop, okay? And then try to find out common ground that both parties can play, all right? So that's very, very important. Now, management consulting covers essentially executive coaching and training. So by executive coaching, it simply means you're dealing with senior management, all right? You're dealing with senior management. So there's a possibility you have access to information that staff within the organization may never have. And the training has to do with capacity development for the organization at all levels, from entry level to the top executive level. Did you get that? You know, this management consulting thing is all about changing your position, changing your level. Okay, it's all about changing your level, right? It changes your level if you're committed to it. If you're intentional with it, if you have value that you're willing to trade for relationship gains, then you're in for something very big, something beyond what you can comprehend. All right. Now, quickly, in the consulting process, this is what we have. This is what we have. Okay, this is what we have. So I have my Professor Moha, Ifoma Mbeyi. If you go to LinkedIn, you will find her as Ifoma Mbeyi, right? Ifoma Elizabeth. But she's a prof. Okay, thank you. She's one of the youngest prof in Africa today. I'm so proud to say that. Okay, thank you so much. So let's share our profile links. I can also see some wonderful people sharing this. Augustine Nakwe, our able program coordinator, is doing a good work. So you could also join IPM in our own networks and that. So 10 quality networks, so that before this year ends, you know, if you've not done your quarterly review, I think it's time to do it. We already done with the first quarter of the year, right? So you have to find out what has been the impact so far, what has been added and what has been removed from you. You need to find out. All right. So your profit and loss account this period is what value have you added and what value have you received? Very, very important. All right. What value have you added and what value have you received? So I'm going to open up this link. I think I need to hear at least 3 people. So tell me or tell us, as a management consultant, tell us one value you've added and one value you've received. Just 3 persons only. 3 persons only. Just be looking at my screen. If your hand is not up, just keep looking at my screen. You have to watch all those information we are sharing there. So who is going first? Tell us, as a management consultant, 2022, the first quarter of the year is gone. So what value have you added? What value have you received? As a management consultant, as a HR consultant, as an engineering consultant, as a law consultant or legal consultant, let's hear from you. Just raise your hand and then we'll mute you. Just raise your hand so that we'll unmute you. A good number of people are sharing their profile links. Please feel free to network with them, connect with them. That's a wonderful thing. Okay. Am I just alone?
No, you're not alone. You are not alone.
Okay. Okay. So as a management consultant or any kind of consulting at all, tell us, what value have you added this year in the past 5 months, basically 6 months right now? So what value have you added? What value have you added to demand for increase in salary, increase in service charge, increase in profit, increase in your bank account? What value have you added? Because you know, money, finance, money is essentially a function of trading value, right? So what value have you added and what value have you received? Who is going first? So let's hear from Trustley. Please go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
All right. There's this guy that is opening an oil and gas industry in the Southeast. So I've been on him actually to see how I can train staff for him and other things. So it was like when we started, it's a big firm. So one day I just called him in the morning and he said, okay, Trustley, I need 30 million. Can I get it today? And I told him, you will get it. When I told him you will get it, I don't know where I will get it from, to be sincere, but I just don't like, that mindset, that defeated mindset, maybe he was testing me. Are you getting it? So before you know it, some ideas came to me. I just made one call and I told the caller, I need 30 million, see what you will get, look at the interest you will get, and just pay me mine for beginning you this business within a week, within a day, and you will get your money back in 30 days. And the guy said I should come. And that was how this man got that 30 million. He was so excited. So anytime he's talking about me, he was like, and I got some cool cash that month. Now, he told me, Trustin, I wouldn't want you to come and be consulting for me. I want to employ you in this firm. Are you getting it? You have that agility. You have what I'm looking for. I just called you and you got that thing sorted out. Trustin, please, I want to put you in a management position. And that's where we are now. So he wants to pull me out from where I am to where he is because he saw I could bring relevance. So within that month, I know what I made just that month. And I really appreciate it that I did that job.
So now what you're trying to say is that you can actually, out of the 30, anytime you come to class, you're always talking one money or the other, one money, and you have not been paying your tithe. This is not good. This is not just good. Your tithe is not complete. All right, but that's wonderful. So basically, one, you created a quality contact, you created a relationship with that contact, and you were able to produce value for the contact, and then in return, you got value. That's wonderful, right? That's very, very beautiful, and that's what we're talking about. Now, you didn't get to be the one having the 30 million, but you had a contact that can generate the 30 million.
Exactly.
So question number one for everyone here now, do you have a contact that can generate 30 million? All right, thank you so much for sharing. That's lovely. So do I have any other person? Just one more person that would like to share. What value have you created and what value have you received this year as a management consultant? It mustn't be as big as that of our director. Okay, so have Esquire, Mr. John, please kindly unmute and let's hear from you.
Okay, thanks very much for the opportunity. Well, I think basically what has paid off for me this year especially is the fact that whatever we are doing, we should put in integrity. Integrity in the sense that out of the little you are doing, put in your total self in the work you are being consulting for. I have some clients in which I've worked for over 10 years. And this year, the recommendation I've received this year from them is more than 10 different recommendations, and I've been able to get more clients in doing that. So all I will say is, while you are doing your work perfectly, also put in integrity so that that integrity will speak for you even when you are not there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. John. So there's something key I said here. Apart from just building quality relationship, make sure that that relationship is sustainable. He said things he has done for the past 10 years, people he has consulted for 10 years ago, and they get to recommend businesses to him this year. So value created and value added. All right. Thank you so much. So this is not just for the few people. All right. So let me take just this one. Please, Mr. Caleb, can we hear from you?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Actually, I do consult for pensioners on the side. And I remember I started on that note before I even got a permanent job. I started with marketing. I didn't study marketing, but I think I had when I started, I think I had the strength and I had the ability to just key in. Once I have my product knowledge, it becomes easy for me. And of course, marketing for an insurance company, which has to do with the annuity product, the insurance policies, and especially the annuity product, becomes very easy. And so with some kind of studies, I became a consultant in that aspect. Now, as a marketer, of course, you have to do a lot of walking, you have to do a lot of visiting just to become relevant and then treat people well. But I observed that there's something different about the way I handle my own job. Now, I have colleagues who don't know what they can do, that they have a lot to do to keep their clients. So once they get a client and you get a business closed and that's all, they don't go as far as consult. There are a lot of things involved. You have to keep them at rest. You have to do a lot of research, give them the best so that when you're talking, when they make research, they find out exactly what you've told them. And I discover over time that I built a group of what you call a repository of clients, such that after closing one business with one person has been able to introduce nothing less than 3, 4, 5, some 10, 15 clients. And one thing that usually goes around is, oh, don't worry, you have somebody that can do well for you on this aspect. And they will call. They will even say, oh, so person told me that you are the best in this area. I have somebody who has been following up on me, but I'm not just comfortable. And my friend, Mrs. This or Mr. This or this director also says I should talk to you. And then we get to meet. And then they confirm it. I have other ways of doing it. Sometimes I have to tell my colleagues, look, for you to be able to build yourself in this business and be able to stay relevant to the extent that you don't even have to go out of your room, just phone calls. You can close businesses even on phone, and then you meet and sign the form and the business is done. But it depends on how you handle your clients. Did you make them feel at home? Or when they had issues and because you know there's a bottleneck somewhere because that they don't understand, you don't pick calls. And this is what most of my colleagues do, but I don't do that. Okay. So I've been able to, at this point, I don't go out. I only, in fact, right now, referrals is what works for me. And I think I do well in that aspect.
All right, thank you so much. For the sake of time, I may just have to stop here for this section of something I want you to understand. No, when we say value creation, all right, or value added, some people might be thinking it's about money. How much have I made and how much have I not made? Okay, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about consciously, what kind of value have you added? Social value, economic value, digital value, whatever kind of value, innovative values you've generated and you've added. The profit might not be now, but you should have some forecast of what your benefits will look like. So for people like Mr. Caleb, they built better strategies for handling clients, and it led to having referrals. Okay, that is good. All right. So now, in the best consulting process, this is basically what we have. You have in the phases of consulting, you have the entry, the diagnosis, the action planning, implementation, and termination, right? That's basically what you have. Now, in the entry phase, what do you have? You have contact with client at the first time, preliminary diagnosis of problem, planning for assignment, proposal of assignment to client, and contract of consulting. That's basically what you do in the first phase. Okay, so once again, I want to make a plea. If you are not permitted to raise your hand, or if you're not permitted to unmute, please do not unmute to avoid some levels of distraction. Okay. Now on the diagnosis phase, you have the analysis of purpose, analysis of problem, finding facts, analysis of facts, and feedback. On the action plan, you have solution development, evaluation of alternatives, you have the proposals, developed and then submitted. You have planning to implement. On the implementation, you have assist in implementation, proposal adjustment, and then training, where training needs to be considered. Then on determination, you have evaluation and final report, commitment settlement, and follow-up plans and withdrawals, if any, right? Now, this process remains the same. It was the same 20 years ago. It is the same today. It will remain the same in the future. But why these processes are the same? Why they are the same? The consulting landscape itself, the tools, the skills, the techniques, the approaches to managing these things have been changing very, very drastically. So we need to keep up with our skills, keep up with our knowledge, keep up with the trends so that we can also remain relevant as management consultants. Okay, this is very, very important. All right. Now, as we begin to round up, what are these current, not necessarily current issues. Let's go back a little. If you want to start a management consulting firm, or you want to start a consulting firm, or you have a consulting firm, perhaps you want to rethink it or redesign it. Now, these are the basic things you have to put into consideration. First of all, if you're starting up a firm, you must, first of all, make sure that you legalize it, right? That's the first thing. Aside raising your vision, your mission, and your objectives, you need to have the legal system or the legal framework for your business, right? So you legalize it. That shows that you're serious about this thing. And when we say legalize it, we have lawyers in the house. We have different forms of businesses. You have the business name for sole proprietorship. You have the limited by shares, limited by guarantee, limited by all the limited. Okay. So you have all the limited. All right. Okay. Now, when you have this, what model of business do you need to use to now form your business so that it can have a way of creating value, a way of delivering value, and a way of receiving value or profits? How do you structure your business so that it has a way of creating value, it has a way of delivering value, and it has a way of capturing profits or capturing value? All right. So in your own consulting firm, let's assume that you are just starting, or you have been in business, but you have not put this into consideration. Please, when you go home today, when you get the access to this material, sit down with me and begin. Please, Mr. Ben Sonny, kindly mute your mic. Mr. Ben Sonny, kindly mute your mic. I've muted it several times. I don't want to mute it again. Please mute your mic. Please, Mr. Ben Sonny, if your device comes up again, I'll have to remove you from here, please, to avoid distraction. Okay, so for the components, you need to have your vision, your mission, and your objectives. And then you have your key partners. In this present era, we talk about collaborations. Okay, we talk about what? Collaborations, not just you doing your thing. We talk about collaborations. All right. Now, from talking about your business partners, you now talk about your key activities. What are the operations, your business operations? You need to list them out. You need to know what they are. Not just listing them out, you need to know what your operations are and the effect of those operations to your business, the impact of those operations to your business. So if you have customer service as part of your operation, what will be the impact of customer service? You have, maybe you have business development unit. What will be the impact of the operations of business development unit to your business? You have human resources. What will be the impact? You need to learn those things so that you'll be able to identify your key business drivers Do you get that? So that you'll be able to identify your key business drivers. Then the other one is your key resources. What are the most important things you need to drive your business? What are the things that without them, your business cannot start? You know, there is this challenge that we have, especially in Africa. We have the challenge. No, I think it's a global phenomenon. People say, I've not started my business because I don't have money. The truth is, you've not started because you don't know what you're about to do. You have not started because you don't understand what you're to do. You've not started because you don't even understand what your key resources are. If you understand your key resources, number one might just be that laptop you're using right now. Your key resources, number one, could be your ability to write on paper, develop proposals. Your key resources could be your communication skills, your ability to discuss with someone and convey. Jocelyn said that young man needed 30 million. She didn't have 30 million, but she could raise that resource for this person because she could communicate among people in her network. So when we say key resources, we are not just talking about your machines, your office, and all of that. No, you must find out your primary tools, your primary resources. Okay, very, very important. Of course, we know that your number one primary resource is your knowledge base. Okay, we know that your number one primary resource is your knowledge capital base. Every other capital you need, every other resource you need is secondary. Okay, and that is not for debate anyway. Then you have your value proposition. The value proposition is, what are you offering? What problem are you solving? That is the value proposition. If you say you want to go into HR training, so what are the value propositions to your HR training? What problems in HR have you identified, and what solutions are you bringing? What's your value proposition? What is the taste you want your client to have about your product, about your service? Very, very important. Then we'll talk about customer relationships. Okay, so Mr. Caleb said his basic strategy for this year had been working on better strategies for customer relationship or client relationship, which has led to referrals. And he can sit now in the comfort of his room with a phone call and close deals, right? So the question is, what's your customer relationship strategy? Okay, very, very important. You need to find that. And Engineer Reed once said something when he was talking about design thinking. Design thinking is primarily customer focused. Customer focused, customer focused. So when you're doing customer relationship, your product should be, first of all, customer oriented. My mentor, Dr. Larry Phillips, once told me something. He said the problem with most people about starting businesses is that they start a business, develop a product, and then look for who to buy. But in real terms, business is about finding a problem and then developing a product and giving it to the people who have the problem to buy your product. So many businesses have closed because they were never customer-centered. And from customer relationship, you should be able to segment your customers. All your customers can never be in the same level. There is a mystery that we call the mystery of sachetization in business today. It was Akin Alabi that came up with that principle. Akin Alabi, the founder of NairaBet. I read one of his books, and he has been a publisher of sachetization. Any product can be sachetized. And by sachetizing your product, it simply means you understand the different needs of your customer at different levels, and you are developing products per time to meet their needs. For instance, if you have peak milk, for instance, right? You have the sachet peak milk. Any poor man anywhere can buy sachet peak milk. Then you have the tin milk, which the average family can buy. Then you have the other bundle of milk, the one you buy like 1,000 plus. For those of us in Nigeria, you buy like 1,000 plus naira. Okay, average person can buy. Then you have the family size, which is about 4,000. What have they done? They've actually identified the different dimensions of their, the different segmentations of their customers, and they've been able to develop the same product to meet these people according to their needs. So if you have a product, no matter what you offer, there must be levels of sachetization. There must be levels of sachetization. You cannot survive alone by focusing on just one category of customers. That's very, very important. All right. Then you also check your channels. Channels here looks at how do you market your product? How do you distribute your product? So all your marketing channels, all your distribution channels, that's what we talk about in in channels, right? Now, importantly, all of these segments, you could innovate on each of these segments, right? Each of these compositions, you could find your strength as a company in each of these segments. Somebody's strength could be on the kind of people on your board of directors, the kind of people you collaborate with on your business, the kind of people you have in your network. That could be your key partners being your major drivers. Another person could be the seamless nature of operational efficiency and operational performance. That could be on key activities, right? Another person could be on the quality of talent you have, the quality of knowledge you have within your organization, talking about your key resources. Another person, it could be the kind of solution your product provides that any other person cannot provide. So you have a product that is not easily duplicated by others. It could be a function of how you manage your customers. It could be a function of how you understand and segment your customers and be able to meet their needs. It could be a function of how you market, you distribute. Some of us today, our office is our laptop. Some people, their office is their phones. Why some of us are still waiting to have a four-cornered wall office before we could start. So your value per time, or perhaps your differentiating factor, your unique selling point per time could be something around these propositions here. Then you have your cost structure. You must have accurate documentation of what you're spending on. All right. What in your operational, your key activities, your key resources, managing segment of customers. How do you spend money? What are the things that take money away from your business? Those are your cost structure. And then revenue stream. What are the things that make money to your business? What are the things that bring money to your business versus what are the things that take money away from your business? All right. Okay. So I know you have a question here, but before you ask me a question here, let me just round up. All right. So that we'll take all the questions at once. Now, as part of the structuring your management consulting into a business, some of the things you may need to put into consideration, very, very important, is your business tools. Part of your business tools, number one, your consulting profile. Now, consulting profile, you have to look at it in two dimensions, your personal consulting profile and your corporate consulting profile. Corporate consulting profile for those of us who have organizations, right? And then for personal consulting profile for those of us who are practicing individually or freelancers, right? Freelance consulting. Now, why did I say post your LinkedIn profile? That is where professionals get to display the proficiencies, the competencies, their knowledge base, show proof of work done and all of that. Now, if you don't have a good profile on LinkedIn or social media generally, please find time to build one. Find time to build one. We have one of our consultants here and one of our members, Mr. Damilola Olaniyi. He works with Heroes Consulting, but he's a member of the Institute. Mr. Damilola, you can put your contact in the chat room in case there's anyone who wants to discuss with you more on how to build your profiles. Okay, that would be a good one. Mr. Damilola Olaniyi. There are people who get contracts from their profiles, right? Why some people are just getting delegate debate and non-delegate debate on their profile. You debate delegate from morning to night. Resources going out of you, but nothing is coming back to you. Please remember, contemporary consulting is about rethinking, redesigning, relaunching, and reskilling. Very, very important. Okay. Mr. Tedious, your hand is up. I'm going to take your question in a moment. Just calm down. All right. Now, another thing is your contact tools. Your contact tools borders about your website, your email, your social media pages, your cards, and so on. Your website is very, very important. Whether you're a corporate organization or non-corporate organization. If you're a corporate organization and you have a website, it's good for your organization to build a web page for you in your company's website. That gives you more credibility. Now, if you don't have a company website and you're a freelance consultant, please feel free to build a contact point website. Apart from showing you as an authority in your field of consulting, it also makes it easier for you to have a complete profile of what you do. So you have previous work done. Just go and visit or pick up any tender journal, you find useful information on how you can populate your personal website and also how you can populate your corporate website, right? Or perhaps you can visit iipmi.org. You could also find how to populate your website if you're into training and consulting. Your email has to be custom built. You know, some of us have this at gmail.com, at yahoo.com, at hotmail.com, at outlook.com. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you have custom built email, it is better for you. So if you have boc@iipmi.org, it's better for you. If you have Augustine at leadafricafoundation.org, is better for you. So find custom built. And you don't need to have a website to have a custom built email. You could get that from Google. You could get that from other people or other services that do such online. All right. Then another important one is your proposals. You don't need to wait for a contract before you build proposals. Now, listen to me. I said management, in contemporary management consulting, we need to be creative, we need to be innovative. Please note, they are not just words, they are actions to be taken. They are certain behaviors that need to be followed. You don't need to wait for anybody to announce for contract before you develop proposals. Your own is that you're looking for problems. And as soon as you identify those problems, what do? You develop proposals on them and begin to reach out. There's something we'll look at as we'll begin to round up, and I will tell you why you need to develop proposals ahead of time. You don't need to wait till you. A friend of mine once said, he said, you live prepared, you don't wait, or you don't live to get prepared. You live prepared, don't live to get prepared. Live prepared, don't live to get prepared. So get your proposals ready. Okay, there is one thing a message I love so much. He said, sow your seed in the morning, sow your seed in the evening, in the noonday, in the evening, scatter it upon the waters. You don't even know which one will produce. Just keep on scattering it. Keep on building ideas. Keep on developing proposals. They called you or they did not call you. Keep on building. Don't say, I've tried everything and nothing is working. The day you stop working, that's actually the day things stop working for you. But if you keep on working, you keep on developing ideas, keep on proposing, one day somebody will say, besides, it's not every lady you said, I want to marry you that yes. Did you stop at that? It's not every man that said, I want to marry you that you accepted. So did you stop at that? Okay, no. So for the fact that you're married, you must make sure, for those of us that are married, right? You just have to make sure that that same kind of attitude you follow to get married, follow the same attitude till you get your contract letter, your engagement letter, your appointment letter, just make sure you follow that same attitude, right? Don't give up. All right, so we have your team. We've talked about key partners. Okay, your human resources, very, very important. Then your structure, okay, your business structure. Make sure you register your business, number one, and then have a business structure. Okay, have your organizational chart, have your policies, have your procedures and all of that. Then have your business model. We just dealt with the business model. This is just an example. Where is that? Okay, so this diagram you have here is just an example of a business model, right? So you can populate this and make sure you understand your business in this regard. So have your business model and then understand your business systems and processes. You create them and you understand them as well, all right? We are going digital, we are going to business automation, we are going to business analytics and all of that. Business intelligence, artificial intelligence, understand these tools and be able to use them to build systems and processes that will make your transaction, your relationship with your client stress-free, and then you get to have more value coming to you, right? Now, finally, men and brethren, what are these current issues in management consulting? Number one, we have continued digitization. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because we've all exemplified these things. Then we have legislation shaping businesses. Yeah, there is a whole lot of legislations coming up now. Okay, in Nigeria now, you don't just come up and say you're a consultant. If you want to work with the government, you must be accredited, you must be chartered with the necessary bodies. All right, you can do consulting with anybody that is not government. And some multinationals, you also need to be accredited, you need to be chartered. Chartered gives you that view that yes, you are good in what you're doing. Government has certified you okay, and you're good to go. You can be you can have your PhD, but if you're not chartered, you might be losing opportunities, right? So get to look at some of these legislations and how they affect your consulting skills. Then market focus. You don't need to focus on everything. You find that people are going much more into niche consulting. Niche consulting. So I will tell you, I'm into customer relationship consulting. I'm into project management consulting. I will tell you, I'm into monitoring and evaluation, research and development. So niche consulting, market focus. Drive your consulting skills down, right? Not just a generalist. Then digital integrations, we'll be talking about so much about digital integrations. Then fail fast methodology. I talked about proposal, right? Right, deliver. If they don't accept, write another one. The faster you deliver your proposals and get to have so many rejections, the better for you, because by the time you have your first rejection, you basically go to know why they did not accept. Do what we call follow-up. So you wrote a proposal, they did not accept, follow-up. Why didn't you accept my proposal? They should tell you reasons. And then you understand why and build it better. Okay, I'm going to give you an instance. The first time we were to organize a training program, a national training program for directors in Nigeria. I think we had about 10 directors, 10. And that was too short of what we actually expected. So we went back to the ministries and we tried to find out, so why didn't you people come? What really happened? And they gave us their reasons. And we went back and redefined our processes, redefined our value proposition. We sent it back to the same people. Our program is holding June 22nd, and we are training 100 people, right? As of today, we have close to 70 people who have registered for the program. 70. Now we have others we are still screening, like let's be sure that we want to accept. So if you can fail faster, the better for you. Don't just stop writing proposals. And when you write, don't just write and say they did not accept, then you go home. No, find out why it didn't. Then you have recruiting new talents. It's no longer about age. It's no longer about how many PhDs you have. It's now about skills, performance, improvement, productivity. It's all about now which certification do you have? Certification that leads to skills and all of those things needed. And we have multi-sourcing mode. Another thing you have to understand now is that competition is very high. So there are several people in the market doing the same thing you're doing. So the client has multi-choice. He can use you or he can use any other. So you have to understand that, and you have to work to make sure that you are not stampeded. Very, very important. Now, collaborations. This is another trend, okay? When people understood that multi-sourcing is becoming the case, so people merge together, people come together, organizations come together to form collaborations that can help drive their consulting businesses. Another important thing is continued education. Now, when we look at continued education, not just the traditional education, but continuously engaging in continuous professional development, like what we are having right now, correct? They are just short-term educational activities, but they help put you in positions of relevant skills, relevant knowledge, relevant competencies that can help you deliver value. Then the last one there is remote work models. We cannot talk little about this. We have so much dealt with this. Okay. Okay, now, what are the contemporary consulting skills you need? First, we divided this into 4 basic competencies. You have the intellectual competence, which has to do with consulting and advising in your defined area, in that niche area you want to go into. Build your consulting and advisory skills in that area. Build your consulting and advisory skills. If it is IT, build your consulting and advisory skill. If it is training and development, build your consulting and advising skill in it. If it is engineering, build your consulting and advice. Whichever field you want to go into, build your knowledge in that area. The second one is strategic thinking. Okay, strategic thinking and design thinking. Okay, design thinking is a component of strategic thinking. So strategic thinking, let it be a customer-oriented kind of product development. Let it be a product that will meet the need of today and meet the needs of tomorrow. So continuous research and development is important. Another one is analytical processing skills, action research skills, problem solving, and process improvement skills. Then you have your leadership competence. You need skills in judgment and decision-making, emotional intelligence, executive presence. We talked about you creating quality relationships. So executive presence, very, very important. Client engagement and relationships, skills, then managing ambiguity, managing complex issues, ability to manage complex issues. Somebody spoke about negotiations, persuasion skills and negotiation skills, very, very important. You have your communication competence, dealing with communication in the forms of reading, speaking, and listening. They have conflict management, presentations, ability to use IT communication tools, your emails, your social media platforms, and all of them, right? Then your business automation tools and your business collaboration tools. You need to understand all of this and be able to work with them. Then you have your technical competence, dealing with analytics and data interpretation, statistical thinking. The other one says strategic thinking. This one now talked about statistical thinking. So thinking with numbers, thinking out all the risks, thinking out all your risks, qualitatively, quantitatively, in numbers, and in what? Thinking them out. You have your critical thinking and analysis, project management skills, business systems, understanding business systems, marketing and sales, contracting, budgeting, and financial management. These are the basic skills. You also have your IT, AI, and business intelligence skills under the technical skills. Now, how do you handle contemporary issues in consulting? Number one, make sure you keep up with continuing education. Number two, get a mentor. Get a mentor. Get a mentor. Get a mentor. Who has done it before? How did he do it? Can you learn from him? Get a mentor, whether he or she, whether you're older or whether he's older than you or you're older than him, whether she's older than you or you're older than her, it doesn't matter. Get a mentor, very, very important. Then collaborations, we've talked about that. Continue research, IT integrations, get to improve your IT skills. Then consider blue ocean strategy. Please, very, very important. We may not have all the time to talk about blue ocean strategy today, but I would recommend you read the book on blue ocean strategy, okay, and understand what it's all about. Value innovation, innovate on your value, do what we call market reconsiderations, look at your pricing strategy, and then look at other components of your business, the customer segments, look at the every other section using blue ocean strategy. Then build and invest in quality relationship, very, very important. And finally, risk reversal. Risk reversal. I will talk on this a little. Now, in design thinking, we say it should be customer focused, right? Now, in design thinking, all you want to do is make the customer understand that you are having 100% of the risk to yourself. Okay, the customer, you're building a product that the customer will have you have the 100% of the risk to yourself. And the customer decides if he's interested in sharing the risk or not with you. For instance, this program we just did now is risk reversal. How do I mean? You come and take the program for free. You need the program. At the end of the day, you decide if you want to forge ahead with the relationship or not. So you have nothing to lose by coming, or you have everything to gain. That's risk reversal. Can you do it in all businesses? The answer is yes. How do we do it? Find out. Sit with your business and find out. Okay. In conclusion, there has been a paradigm shift in management consulting resulting from IT disruptions and changing market and client needs. The ever-increasing need to drive performance and productivity at personal and corporate levels had led to massive opportunities for management consultants. The skills required to excel as a management consultant are changing. We must therefore keep up with continued education and research to remain relevant. IT integrations and collaborations have become fruitful platforms to drive management consulting, business sustainability, profit, and impact. At this juncture, men and brethren, we have to say a very big thank you. And I will take your questions right now. So in the next 15 minutes, we'll be out of this place. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Your time is so important, and you've given it to me for free. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So please, I'll be handing over to the program coordinator right now. And you have questions, you kindly unmute, you kindly raise your hand. We'll unmute you and then we'll take your question. All right.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Banito. We thank you and we really appreciate this. Please, we are rounding up and we don't want to stay here any further. It's been very nice having this time and discussion with you. You know, I told you from the beginning, and I don't know whether we have fulfilled our promise. So before the question, this tradition of IIPM, if you know I fulfilled my promise, I think I made this promise to you that you will never regret being here. If you know we fulfilled this promise through this presentation, please type 11 in the chat room. Type 11 in the chat room. Well, I'm seeing a lot of 11. Say, I just need few. All right, thank you very, very much. So we thank the presenter, who coincidentally is the executive director of this great institute. So please, if you have any question, let me see your hand up. I'm seeing some hands up. I believe you are just putting them up now. So Mr. Thaddeus Chukwebuka, can you unmute and ask your question or make your contribution? And let's make it brief, very brief, please. Mr. Thaddeus, we can't hear you. At this juncture, please, Mr. Innocent Joseph, unmute and let's hear you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the lectures and the time. Dr. B, I'd like to thank you so much. It's always an exceptional when it comes to you. Your class and lecture is always very detailed and enlightening. Thank you so much. It's a time that anytime it comes to IBPM, I'm always glad to join. So thank you so much for now and in the past. Okay, what I want to ask is two things. You said something about when it comes to the attendance that you're going to make some clarification. That has not been done. That's number one. Number two, these materials. I remember when we were doing the management consultant lectures, the training. I asked before, and I'm going to ask again. Though we have the soft copy, is it possible to get the hard copies of these materials? Some of us still like to, to do a bit of the old school. Is it possible, sir? That's my question.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Barrister Innocent, I hope you're the one I'm talking to.
It's me, Dr. B. I'm the only one that calls me Dr. B. Everybody calls you Dr. Banejo. So
if I ask you now, why has that forsaken me? Will I be far from?
Israel, the Lord shall never forsake Israel. I'm so sorry. You've not been hearing from me because I had a bit of.
Your word for party primaries. Are you a delegate?
Not really that. I've stepped aside from politics for now. Let me concentrate on my personal business. I lost my sister, so it's been a very tough time. So I've been away for a bit, but all is well now to the glory of God. So right. I haven't abandoned you, and I will never abandon you to the glory of God.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. That was on a lighter note. So I will still share information on more things about the attendance in a moment. But let's just answer the questions bordering around the basic presentations of today. So the question of will you get access to the hard copy? Well,
Yes.
now we are talking about contemporary consulting, and you're trying to drag us back to the traditional consulting.
No, sir. No, sir. Because some of us are trying to stay away from the screen, middle of the night. You know, some people, I'm a night reader. I like to study at night. I can stay up for 5 hours. But I can't really do that on the screen because now, the reflection and all that.
So our basic advice had been, if you can print from your location, that would be better off.
Okay, that's fine.
Print from your location, that would be awesome.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Barrister for it's good hearing from you. All right, please, Professor Taiwo. Prof, at least for once, you're going to speak.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I've been enjoying from the beginning till the moment. Thank you very much for always being there for us and the free services you've been rendering as a community service. Only God can reward you. Thank you, sir. My question, sir, is in the aspect of certification, membership. May I say that, of course, I've attended several programs, sometimes maybe because of different advertisement I receive, maybe the more I get them, somehow I get confused on the processes of membership in terms of being chartered. There have been time where we said maybe if we have some program having gotten some level of certification, that would translate to maybe membership or being chartered, then some other processes of induction and whatever. So there was a time I sent a private inquiry about that, but the answer had not been that much clear to me. May I know, sir, at least with what you have said in this presentation, the best thing is the issue of certification and being chartered, irrespective of your level of expertise. You need to be chartered, you need certification. So how do we go about it? Please, in clear terms, can we, for me and some others who might like to go into this in deep, having established a consult and then having gotten certificates and all of that, please, can you clarify more, sir?
All right, thank you so much, Prof. So Professor Taiwo is the Dean of Student Affairs, Achievers University, and he has been a very erudite fellow. However, before I answer that question, the questions, I will take them in the last session of announcement, please. But you definitely get all your clarifications. I know Ehisoje will ask me question pertaining to what I've taught. So Ehisoje, please go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Banito.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
It was, I'm at work, but it was really quite explanatory. At the beginning of this year, I started with submitting a lot of proposals because I just established my own training and consulting firm. Last year, I got my certification from CMD, and I have my project management. I have my human resource management certification from Chartered Interpersonal Management, and with all the other management from NIM and all that. But all the proposals for the beginning from January to March, I kept on submitting, and there was no go calling on anything. So in April, I decided to get a job, so that I will not be financially dry and all this one. But I still have the mind to go back. I don't know if you have some tips you can give to me that can maybe encourage me to, pick up from where I stopped, especially in the area of having a PMO, a project management organization. How do I go about it? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I love your question because it will help me bring to light more of all these things we've been talking about. So you've written several times. Remember, one of the discussions I made, I said, we've also written several times, but people didn't really turn up. So I had to go back to them to find out what happened. But before you do this, note, you have to create relationships. And please, let me tell you something. Relationship building is an investment. It's not something you just do with the mouth. I'm being practical right now, right? You don't just want to be You don't just want to be or want to have a director of an organization or director of an MDA to hold you precious, and all that matters to you is just always showing your face to the prophet and without coming with fantasy. The prophet someday will chase you away from his auditorium. Okay, in fact, you have to concentrate on relationship building. You've identified these companies. Why do you want them? Start building relationships in that regard. Remember the instance Trustlin gave. She wanted to provide training to that organization, but the organization ended up calling her, can you raise us this amount of money? She had the network that could give him that value. And at the end of the day, they're asking, can we put you in a management position? So the question is, find out how to penetrate. There is something we call strategy. Strategy is dynamic. If it is not working through A, find a way to pass it through B. If B is not working, get through C. But by all means, make sure you are rethinking your whole process. Make sure you're redesigning your whole process. Make sure you're relaunching your whole process. And at the same time, rethink your product. Is it actually fit for the organizations you've targeted? Because if it is not fit, they will not come in. And I'll give you an example. When we were writing to most organizations, they told us that if it is training, that they are not interested. And then by building relationship, they started telling us that what they actually need is international training, right? Not local training. Okay, and that was what forced us to go and get international accreditations. Now, those people that once told us that they don't want our training, they are the ones paying the most today. Because why? There was a need that they had that we didn't see first, but by relationship, they were able to tell us those things. We'll feast them, and now they are part of our partners. They are part of our clients. There are several things I will tell you, but I will recommend, please, we can talk offline and find better ways to deal with your business. But if you have your CMD and you have your CIPM, you need to have at least, even if it's not full-time, you have some part-time consulting outfit, right? Because one day your license will expire. Your license for both CMD and your license for CIPM, and you have to pay again. And the essence of giving you that chart or that license is so that you practice. Okay, so please, very important. We can talk more offline. Now, for the little one I've done, did it make sense to you? If it did, all right, thank you so much. Okay, I will take just one more question. Just bordering around this, I see Mr. Abraham Udu. Mr. Abraham, you're welcome. Okay, I will take just one or two more questions and then we summarize and we go. Please, Isaac Taki Ade, please, can you go ahead?
Please, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I don't have a question, but I want to thank you for the opportunity given to most of us to take your course for free. This is the second time I have been joining your webinar, and what I have to tell you is that may the good Lord bless you.
Amen.
We or some of us will try and support you financially, because it is not all time that we should use our mouth to praise you. Sometimes something must happen so that we can continue to do it for other people to also enjoy for free. Concerning this webinar, I want to put more light on building interpersonal relationship with your customers. That is good interpersonal relationship with your customers. This normally improve one's work, because since you are working with a group of people, if there is no proper interpersonal relationship with them, automatically you are going to fail. So I want my colleagues here to take it carefully, that before you can succeed as a consultant, because the consulting work is mostly dealing with people. So if you don't have proper interpersonal relationship with your customers or your client, automatically you're going to fail. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Isaac, all the way from Ghana. It's awesome having you again. All right, Now, for the sake of time, shall we now conclude? How do you get your certificate? How do you get your certificate? Well, at the moment, this program is free, and I know everyone enjoyed it. But we are having a program. It's a CSR project, actually. The 100 directors of ministries and departments and agencies we are training them for free, just as we are training you for free right now. Okay, but theirs is a physical class. All right. And we'll have a cost of 3.5 million naira or $8,550. And we need your support. So it's a free will donation that we need from you. Please note, free. It's not, we are not entitled to it. It's just your own way of helping us get this done, right? Okay. Now, for the certificate of attendance in this particular workshop, certificate of attendance in contemporary management consulting, plus 1 month free lecture. Now, we just introduced you to consulting, or basically we just discussed some issues in consulting, but there is need to further have grounded knowledge in consulting. So for your 10,000 naira, you will have access to our 1 month free lecture on management consulting. Now, not just general management consulting, but dealing with the technical sides of management consulting. So all of these things we've been talking about, in the next 1 month, you join us and we'll deal with it, and you join us for free learning about it. Now, if you are paying for 20,000, that's for, you get to have certificate of achievement in contemporary consulting plus 1 month lecture again. So you join us 1 month. And please, the 1 month is not every day. It's just for 5 contacts, right? 5 contacts in 1 month, 3 hours a day, and you learn all that you need to know about consulting. Certificate of achievement is a competency certificate to show that yes, you can handle consulting, right? Certificate of attendance shows you attended this workshop, all right? Now, for 30,000 naira donation or 105 donation, you have certificate of achievement in contemporary consulting plus certificate of recognition as a sponsor to this project. So you get to have 3 certificates even before the program. You have your certificate of achievement in contemporary consulting, certificate of recognition as a sponsor to the MDA CSR project, and then you have 1 month recognition or 1 month free lecture on management consulting. Now, for your 50,000 donation or $175, you have certificate of achievement in contemporary consulting plus certificate of recognition as a donor or as a sponsor, plus access to the director's leadership executive workshop. Now, if you pay up to 50,000, you can attend this workshop they're organizing physically. You can attend it online, and you pay up to 50,000 naira or $175, and you get to have the same certificate that they are being given, okay, on leadership, executive leadership development course, right? Plus extra 1 month free lecture on management consulting. Now, if you are to pay for 70,000 for your donation of 70,000, you get to have certificate of achievement in contemporary consulting plus certificate of recognition as a sponsor plus access to the director's leadership workshop online plus the certificate in executive leadership development plus associate membership induction. Now, Prof, you are asking me a question on induction, so you can use any of these processes. Okay, any of these will fetch you membership. So for you to apply for associate member, so if you want to pay 70,000 or donate 70,000 and you want to be an associate member, please, you must have your degree or HND and a minimum of 3 to 7 years working experience, right? For a donation of 80,000 or $280, you have all of these other things mentioned plus full membership certificate or full membership induction. So you have you'll be inducted as a full member when you pay it, when you donate 80,000 € or $280. And please, before you do that, you need a minimum of 8 to 11 years working experience aside your degree and HND. Now for your 90,000 donation or $315, you have a minimum of degree HND or 12 years, minimum of 12 years. So from 12 years and above, you can apply for fellow. All right. Now, please, all of this, you can access the director's program online. So irrespective of your country, you can attend. Now, if you're in Nigeria and you want to join us physically, please, you will have to let us know so that we'll make the necessary preparations for you. If you want to join us physically, you don't want to join online, you want to be physically present, interact with the directors and all of that, please, you have to inform us, you have to let us know, okay, so that we'll make the necessary preparations for you. If you want to join as a sponsor to this program, a corporate sponsor to the program, that means you want to be filed in the brochure, in the event brochure, you want to have time to talk to the directors during the event, you want to market your product and your services during the event, please also feel free to reach out to us. Now, in whichever case, the deadline for this payment, if you're interested in it, is 25th of June 2022. If you're interested in joining us in any of these, the latest payment is June 25th, 25 June, 25 June 2022. And the accounts for payment are noted here. Now, if you're filling your attendance, you will see some of the information bordering around these things, right? So you can select the best ones that suit you. If you're not interested in any of these, please feel free to skip and then just give us your attendance. All right, and that's all. Okay. All right. So let me once again invite the program coordinator as I begin to round up.
Thank you very much, Dr. Benito. We will get this information. I believe you already have it once you fill the attendance. But for more information on this, we will communicate, we'll send this very template, every information you need to know, the donation and benefits will be sent to every attendee of this very program. So thank you very much. And please, finally, before I drop my own duty mantle, I will also say to us, because IIPM is focused on value transmission, we will also want to appeal to us all. Do not hoard this learning, this whole exercise, this learning you have gathered here. Look for ways to also transmit. If you have the opportunity to communicate this learning and this the knowledge you have gathered from this very session, we also encourage that you transmit that. So thank you very much. And we also thank, despite the fact that I am just a moderator here, I have learned a lot also from Dr. Benito. So Dr. Benito, thank you very much. And for those who say God bless you, I also join my voice, lend my voice with theirs to say God bless you. Maybe from Doctor, the next program you will come from, we'll be referring to him as Professor Benito. He has already started doing that now. So thank you very much for all our attendees. I believe this will not just end here. Our networking should continue beyond this place. For those who have sent their LinkedIn profile, the links, we appreciate and we ask that find it necessary to always link with professionals. You cannot tell where this will help and how this will help. So let us continue to make Nigeria a better place. Thank you very much for your attendance. I don't think we are leaving any other thing, but if there is any other information we need to pass, we communicate it privately to everybody. So thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for your participation, active participation, like we stressed from the beginning.
All right, once again, thank you everyone for this wonderful session. It has been awesome. I've learned a lot from all the speakers, and I want to thank you for your knowledge. Displayed on the screen is the template of the certificate you will receive for your certificate. But for now, we can be okay. So if someone is asking what of certificate of participation, so if you are going for certificate of participation, just choose, when you're filling your agenda, just choose what you want to communicate. Okay, but the dimensions we are making is towards the subject of the FBAC software. So you join us there if you're physically available in Abuja or you want to fly in from England. Welcome. Thank you so much, and you have